Hey team, welcome back to the 5th video in our 6-video training series. We're going through what I'm calling the DocPal system of goal setting. DocPal is obviously an acronym for Dream, Organize, Clarify, Plan, Act, and Loyal. So today we're going to be talking about acting, and if you have not watched the previous videos before this one and you haven't downloaded the free PDF workbook to follow along and do the exercises, I strongly suggest you pause and go watch the other 4 videos, finish the exercises up until this point, because this video, like all of the others, builds upon the previous one. And I don't want you to feel lost and I don't want you to feel behind. This is an active working session, so let's treat it like that. Now, before I dig into the act portion of this, go ahead and turn to page 18 in your workbook, and you can follow along with the 3 different techniques that I'm going to walk you through that are going to help you maximize your chances of not just achieving your goals, but staying engaged over the course of the 4 weeks that we work on them together. So this step isn't just about doing the things that you put on your calendar in the last video. This is about maintaining a sense of momentum, motivation, and forward progress every step of the way. It's way too common that we get excited about our goals in the beginning, and then that excitement wanes and we either give up on our goals altogether or we're barely making it and forcing ourselves over the finish line toward the end. We don't want that kind of experience, and so these 3 techniques are going to help you have a much more positive and productive experience with goals instead. The first technique that we're going to walk through is called incremental illusion. So here's where we start to use how our mind thinks in our favor. So essentially, we're going to help our brain understand and identify the progress that's already in motion toward our goal. Now, you might be thinking that in the process, we've only set the goals and now put them on the calendar, to really summarize it and really make a long story short about where we are in the process. So how can I already have made progress when we haven't started doing the activities that we chose in the previous step? And this is where we get creative. This is where we start to see things as all working toward us reaching the goal line, instead of only hinging our progress upon us taking those specific actions. So let me give you an example of the research that's been done in this area. As you can imagine, a lot of research has been done over decades and decades around the areas of motivation, achievement, success, goal setting. It's a really important set of topics, especially in Western culture, where achievement and going for your dreams, they're really, really pushed hard in our culture. So in one of the studies that has been repeated over many different circumstances, what they found was that when there's an illusion of forward progress, the participant, you, is much more likely to reach their goals and to reach their goals more quickly than if they really they believed that they were starting from zero. So let me give you an example of a modern day situation. So at a lot of different coffee shops, they have a rewards system for their customers. Now, this can often look like a punch card. So it looks like a little paper business card that the barista will give you as a new customer, and they punch a hole for every coffee that you purchase. After 10 coffees, you'll get the 11th one free. So the concept will stay the same between the 2 different groups that I talk about. The first group that this experiment was conducted on was a group of customers that received a coffee punch card that had 10 holes to punch out. So that makes sense. I'm a brand new customer. This is a different coffee shop. I get a new card. There's no punches on it yet because I haven't made any purchases. But when I finish paying for my first coffee, the barista takes the card and punches 1 hole. So the next time they'll punch the second hole. And after 10, my 11th coffee will be free. The second group of customers was not given the same card. They're given a card that has 12 holes to be punched, and they get a bonus 2 punches before they've even bought anything. So essentially, after you purchase 10 coffees, your 11th is free, but their card has an additional two holes, two little coffee icons already punched out. So when they pay for their first coffee, it looks like they are getting a third punch, when really it's only the first one that they've paid for. So on their road to their 11th purchased coffee being free, they have 2 bonus already as an incentive to get them going. And what they found was the group that was given the coffee punch card with those 2 bonus punches, and versus the group that had no bonus punches, just a regular 1 punch per coffee method. That first group of the bonus punches, they actually got to their 11th coffee for free much faster, and they were coming in and buying more frequently than the group that had the regular 10-hole punch card. Because what was happening is that psychologically, when you see 3 holes in your progress already metaphorically punched out, the brain thinks we're so much closer to that reward. We're so much closer to the goal that we're after. Rather than we see, oh, I've only taken 1 step so far. I've only had 1 metaphorical hole punched in my loyalty card. I'm still so far away from my outcome, when really both groups are still 9 coffees away from that free one, but it looks and feels consequently like the group with the extra bonus punches is actually further along. So they feel more excited, they feel more motivated, they're more committed to going back to that coffee shop versus any other coffee shop and continuing their progress toward the goal line of achieving their free coffee. So how can we use this in our own goal setting experience? Essentially, yes, we're starting with a new 4 weeks and new goals. And so we haven't necessarily taken actions just yet based on where we are in our progress together so far. Here's where you got to take a look at the rest of your life and say, what has already happened? What have I done? What have I been on the receiving end of? What has already come into place so that I'm actually moving toward my desired goal already? So let's go back and take a look at the example that we've used in the previous videos to practice on, okay? So in the previous videos, we talked about becoming fluent in conversational Spanish in 4 different areas or topics of conversation, right? That's what we were working with. Now, the activities are set, right? We're gonna watch our favorite Disney movies in Spanish with English subtitles. We're gonna listen to Spanish podcasts while we cook. And there was one other one, but you get the idea. These were the activities that we were going to start taking or engaging in to get us. We were going to begin. Our opportunity is to find, where have we actually already begun? Those are new activities that we're going to be doing, but what's already come into place to get us closer to that goal of becoming conversationally fluent. Oh, we have a cat joining us. This is Mowgli. And so what I could do in that situation, if this was like my personal goal, I would take a look at how, I've already downloaded the app of Duolingo. This isn't a new app that I have to familiarize myself with. I've already been playing in Duolingo and learning and practicing Spanish on and off, albeit unstructured and not very focused, but I've been engaging in the app pretty regularly. So those are 2 things where things are actually already in motion for me to become conversationally fluent according to the parameters that we set when we defined the goal earlier, right? So in reality, even though this is called incremental illusion, the reality is that I'm already on my way to my goal of becoming conversationally fluent in Spanish. I'm not starting from 0. And whatever goal that you're choosing, you're actually not starting from 0 either. Right? So it might feel like this is a whole brand new thing and this, I've never done anything like the goal that you've chosen, and this is totally a fresh start for you. Identify, what skills have you picked up along the way? What people are already in your life to help you? what maybe books or resources or videos or access to these things do you already have in place? That counts as progress forward that helps you get toward your goal. So this first technique of helping your brain recognize, wait a minute, we're already in motion here. This is called incremental illusion. It's called an illusion, and illusion has sometimes an element, it feels like it's false, or it's a trick, or it's not real. But actually, what we're doing is we're creating the perspective that's working for us, that is actually comprised of things that are working to move us forward. The second technique that has been proven to help people stay connected to their goals, to increase their chances of actually meeting their goals, and to really feel that forward sense of progress is called immediacy. So now that we have set goals together, and now that we have articulated what are the actions that we're going to take, we've got it scheduled all out, we have everything ready to go so that for the next 4 weeks, we can really let the rubber hit the road and start to see real progress. Start today. The things on your calendar might begin tomorrow or perhaps the next day. The immediacy effect is when we choose to do something small, ideally less than 5 minutes of your time, that is in the direction of your goal line, the goal that you're looking to achieve. It doesn't have to be earth-shattering. It doesn't have to be, the biggest action. It doesn't even have to be the same actions that you selected in the previous training. It could be something simple as, I'm going to set up a document where I record all the actions that I take toward my goal. Or I'm going to write down the names of 3 people that I'll reach out to. I'm going to make a list of, if we go back to the example that we've been using through the training for Spanish fluency as our example goal, I'm going to make a list of my top 5 Disney videos that I'm going to watch in Spanish. We're not actually watching them right now. We're just making a short list of the ones that we are really familiar with and the ones that we want to watch as part of our work toward achieving the goal. That action is very small, but it is very focused and intentional and directly connected to the goal that you're looking to achieve. This is the immediacy technique, and I really mean let's do it immediately. As soon as this video is over and there's only a couple more minutes left, turn the video off and go take a sub 5-minute action that is in the direction and directly related to the goal that you're looking to achieve. Do it for each of the goals that you've set. And remember, it's okay if you've set 1, 2, or 3 goals for the next 4 weeks. We're not doing more than 3 goals, guys. I cannot stress that enough. So for each of the goals that you are setting for this 4-week cycle, do something today that is not going to take hardly any time at all, but that it is related to the goal, because you're going to help your mind recognize we are on this path. We're going. The train is leaving the station. It's actually happening. And when we can create that sense of forward progress, you're much more likely to not just be successful in achieving your goal, but really having a good time along the way. So it doesn't have to become a slog or that you lose interest and motivation over the next 4 weeks. It doesn't have to be hard, and this is one of the ways that we can make it easier. Finally, the third thing that you can do to really set yourself up for success over the next 4 weeks is to choose a reward. Now, this isn't any old reward and like, I'm just going to treat myself to this nice dinner or this nice piece of jewelry or, that thing that I've been looking at for a long time once I hit my goals. We need to be more intentionally strategic about that for this to really have an effect. So not all rewards are created the same. Now, this is not waiting until you hit a goal to treat yourself to something. You should be treating yourself pretty nicely all the time. But what we're after here is really significance. We're looking for meaning and depth. So the example I use in the workbook is if your goal is to read between 2 and 3 books over the next 4 weeks, your reward might be something like, I'm going to treat myself to that really nice journal that I've had my eye on. Or I'm going to get myself those really lovely decorative bookends to put on my bookshelf. So we're not just talking about, oh, I'm going to go like treat myself to a glass of champagne. I'm going to go, go to this place with my friends. It's not related to the goal, right? For us to really place significance on something, we have to ascribe meaning to it. So the goals that you've set for yourself, or goal singular, if we're working with one goal for the next 4 weeks, which is totally fine, choose a reward that you feel good about doing or having, creating, that is directly and pretty obviously related to the goal that you've been working toward in the first place. So for example, you know how when you go out to dinner or lunch and you meet up with friends, it's a lovely time, but it might not be significant or special in some kind of way. But if you go out to lunch or dinner with friends for someone's birthday, there's a certain depth there. There's a certain special significance to that meal. It could still be with the same people. It could be in the exact same restaurant. You could order and eat the exact same food, but it's the why and the meaning. Like, why are we all gathered here? What are we celebrating? Is it, we just want to kind of catch up and just, have a good time and we love this restaurant, so let's do it here. That has a very different energy to it, a very different feeling, and it will be filed differently in your memory system than, oh, we celebrated someone's birthday here. And we thought about it, we prepared for it, we experienced it differently than just a regular get-together. So that's what we're doing here. We're creating meaning, we're ascribing significance, and we're making it really a substantial event that when you finish your goal, when you accomplish your goal, that treat at the end means something more than just, oh yeah, I just added it to my Amazon cart and it's going to be here tomorrow. It's going to be here in a couple days. Right? We're looking for something that matters to us, but we are the only ones that can create that sense of meaning and significance. So take a look at your 3 goals, your 1, 2, or 3 goals, and take a look at what would be something that I would feel really good about and proud of to treat myself to. It could be an activity. It could be something that you purchase. It could be something that you go do or make. Or it could be something that you go share with someone else. It doesn't have to be extravagant or expensive or anything, it doesn't have to be super rare or, a one-time only thing. It could be literally, I finished reading, and so I bought this really nice Notebook Therapy, like velvet covered journal for myself as a celebration. I feel really proud of that. And every time I use this or think of this journal, I remember that, oh, I started reading for pleasure again. And I accomplished this goal that I set for myself last month. We're making memories tied together, and we're underpinning it with a story of intention and significance. So use rewards intentionally, strategically, and have fun with them. Rewards are fun anyway, but here's where you get to make it really personalized. Okay, so those are our 3 techniques that can help you really get how your brain works, how it stores memories, how it makes meaning of things. It does all that naturally. Let's use it to our advantage to help us stay connected to our goals, stay motivated over the next 4 weeks, and to have a really solid chance of achieving those goals at all, right? Because one of the biggest reasons that people turn to trainings like this one is because they haven't found success with the ways that they're setting goals in the first place. Or perhaps they're not setting goals because it's been such a maybe difficult or disappointing experience with goal setting in the past. So let's pull out all the stops. Let's make it as much of a success as we can and as likely for us to be knocking our goals out of the park right from the gate. There's all kinds of metaphors jammed in there. So yeah, have fun with these 3 techniques. We have one more training video after this to really underpin all of the stuff that we've been talking about so far to help you maximize your chances of essentially, we're going after goals, but really what we're after is helping you grow in the direction you want to be growing and help you become the version of you living the version of life that you would really love to be. So have fun with this. Reach out if you have any questions, and I will see you in video number 6.